Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse for CTN's live coverage of high school wrestling. It's the season opener for the Coon Rapids Cardinals as they welcome conference rival Anoka. Joe Yund, Howie Shapiro up above for today's action. It's alumni night, great crowd on hand between two teams with a long tradition of battling it out at the top of the Northwest Suburban Conference.
Well, in my mind, this is one of the best traditions in sports here with the lights that'll go out and it just and talk about obviously the golden shoes because that's what they're wrestling for. But just the center spotlight on the mat once the wrestling match starts going. We've done a lot of these between Anoka and Coon Rapids, and it's been up and down. Some years Anoka's up, some years Coon Rapids up, but it's always a good contest.
Well, Coon Rapids trying to build back to where they were previously as a contender each and every year in the conference. Todd Springer's Anoka Tornadoes have been the kind of the cream of the crop in this conference for decades, and went back and forth with the Cardinals for a number of years, but Coon Rapids wants to get back to challenging, and it starts tonight. You know, they return a lot, but they lost a lot as well. They're eager to see are the Cardinals what they have to fill those holes, and Coach Johnson, I know, was very excited about how the numbers looked in the wrestling room and what they would be able to put on the mat, and how they might be a little bit more competitive this year than they have the last couple of seasons.
Well, yeah, talking to Coach Johnson today, I mean, this is they weren't prepared last year when they wrestled Anoka. This is a different team. Obviously, a full JV, full varsity roster for the first time since 2020 in this program. So, as you mentioned to the numbers, but then you talked about head coach Todd Springer also has been doing it for quite a long time at a very successful level. His team is number 8 in the polls coming into this wrestling match.
Yeah, great ambassador of the sport of wrestling, to be certain, as is Coach Johnson.
Absolutely. I mean, Johnson, obviously we've known for quite a long time. He was Bob Adams' assistant for many years, and now it's his ship to steer.
And Xiong returns at 107 for the Cardinals, a junior. He's been in that spot. He was there all of last year. I think finished a little bit better than 500. So good to have experience at the start of your lineup, and that could give them an advantage, give them an opportunity to try and start fast every night. Chang in for the fireman's carry right away, gets a takedown, and he's got Dahl in some trouble early on. Dahl trying to spin back to his chest, and he does.
His headgear, I think, was coming off. Alex finished 5th in the section a year ago, and coach says it's such a positive attitude, and he just pushes guys to do their best.
So a quick 7-1 lead for Xiong. And he's right back on the attack, hard crossface, trying to get to that left arm.
Very aggressive.
Dahl staying wide, able to spin loose and get the escape. Xiong stays square and avoids it turning into a reverse. But a lot of action early here. Hip toss attempt by Xiong, he got caught.
All of a sudden it's 7-5.
Well, and they've increased the value of takedowns to 3 and near falls. He got Xiong had 4 near fall points. Those little intricacies you don't see until you start the season.
Exactly.
Wow, that was very quick for it to have 7 points.
Dahl dealing with a little blood over there, making sure they take care of that. And both wrestlers being aggressive.
Yeah, the attempted hip toss for Xiong. We saw him get the takedown with the fireman's carry early in this first period, but the hip toss didn't go his way. Got caught, turns into a 3-point takedown, and his lead down to 2 at 7-5.
Well, that's how quickly you can you get that big 7-1 lead, and then all of a sudden your opponent gets 4 points, and Makes it a little bit closer.
Dahl now with one nostril plugged, and we'll see if that affects his abilities at all. Chang able to get to his feet, but unable to break free. So they will return to the center of the mat, and he will start in the down position. Still 53 seconds to go in this opening period.
Yeah, it's been a lot of action.
A lot of action for
really
a minute, 7 seconds. Obviously, a very aerobic sport. Requires a lot of hard work, and it just makes it that much more difficult if you only breathe through one nostril.
Yes.
Xiong, a quick glance at the clock. Trying to switch out, looking to gain a couple more points before the end of this period. Down inside the final 25. Dahl, a nice job of breaking him back down to the mat a couple of times, working on that arm bar, and he is getting him turned over. He's going to get some back points. And Chang in a little bit of trouble, trying to kick his way out. 5 seconds left in the period. He will survive to the buzzer, but 4 points for Dahl, and he will take the 9-7 lead into period number 2.
Yeah, Dahl able to get the last 8 points.
Dahl will start on the bottom here in period number 2, leading 9-7. Quickly to his feet and a pretty quick escape. His only takedown was really catching Xiong in the mistake on the hip toss. Big 4 back points that he earned right at the end of that period has got him where he's at. Now up 10-7.
I know Coach Tronson's looking for obviously some big things from Alex this season.
Nice head whip from Dahl. Trying to get around behind. He does and has another takedown, increasing his lead.
Yeah, he's really been able to control this.
And now Xiong in some trouble. Yeah. Half Nelson rolled over right in the middle of the mat. Big trouble with a lot of time in this period. And there's the slap of the mat. At 3 minutes and 2 seconds, a pin for Declan Dahl.
Yeah, and I think it's a disappointing one for Coach Tronson and the staff. I think he thought that he'd start out with the win here, but now they're, and they obviously face a tough squad in Anoka, now down 6-0 to start this one. We'll see it again, and Dahl did a really nice job once he fell behind 7-1, just controlling this match. And there you're going to see him get in the turn. Apply that weight, make sure that Xiong couldn't get out from it, and that's where the pin occurred.
114 pounds, Gigi Bragg for Anoka, taking on Coon Rapids' Adrian Chang. Chang going for a single leg. Bragg able to hold him off up top. She's a little bit longer, as longer legs, longer arms, able to stretch herself out a little bit, trying to use that to her advantage. Chang looks for the headlock and not able quite to lock it up until now, and trying to get her spun back around. And there is a takedown, and unfortunately for Chang is for Gigi Bragg, who got her head loose, got in behind in a control position. She has the first points of this match.
Chang's an experienced wrestler. He has 25 matches under his belt. And he wasn't sure, the coach wasn't sure if he'd be able to make the weight. Obviously he did.
Bragg doing a nice job with her legs. staying in control on the lower half and then working that quarter Nelson up top. Put a lot of pressure on Chang. Still trying to work to get him spun over, but at least putting a lot of pressure on him and tiring him out here in this first period. 40 seconds to go. Now switches to the side, working underneath for the half Nelson. She's got the arm bar on the left side too.
And she's trying to, excuse me, she's trying to turn him.
And now she does have him flipped over. Still some time here in this first period. Oh, got her hips all the way out of the way. Chang in some trouble, able to roll through it. She jumped back on top. And again, Chang able to roll out of it. He's going to survive this period, but a pretty impressive first for Gigi Bragg. They're going to stop this for potentially dangerous hold. Too much leverage on the arm. She does get 4 points for near fall, and it'll be a 7-0 lead. Just 3.5 seconds to go.
She's in a good spot after the first.
Yeah, Chang with a couple of good shots. He had a single leg that he didn't quite get in deeply enough to get a takedown, and then the attempt at the headlock, just not able to squeeze it tightly enough until they were already on the mat, and then kind of out of position body-wise, and Bragg able to pull her head free, get in behind, just able to get the takedown, and then a nice job by her on top of looking for different ways to pin him and get him turned over, able to get 4 near fall points. Again, using those longer levers and longer arms to get around behind Chang, get another takedown, increase her lead to 10.
Yeah, and she's being really aggressive, obviously, here in terms of going right after him. And I'm impressed with her skills so far, that she's able to control this match early on.
Well, and her use of her lower body has been impressive.
Very
because
strong.
Just keeping Chang from being able to get to his base, and also keep her legs out of the way and not keep them from being vulnerable, and still able to look for different ways to turn him up top. Chang has expended a lot of energy just trying to get out from underneath.
And she's doing a really nice job at just making sure she keeps her weight on top of him, not letting him get away. And now she got him turned.
Chang bridging, trying to stay out of back points, but unsuccessfully. Now we'll try and roll out and roll back to his base. She's got the control of that left arm underneath.
Exactly.
Now lets that go.
4 more points.
So I wonder, with the increased value of takedowns and back points, does that mean 15 is still a tech fall? Or did they increase that too?
See, that I don't know. You would think they would have increased that since they're increasing point value.
I would expect so. She'll get a couple more back points. No, waved off. Not enough time to get back points right at the end. But she does have a 14-0 lead to start the third period. I wonder what went into the decision to increase the values, because I mean it's like making a touchdown worth 12 points for a basket worth 5. Seems odd. She's been all over, a lot of energy. And there it is. So 17. It is 15. 15 is I'm sure the near fall. So she scored those points. Has a 17-0 tech fall.
So an 11-0 lead now for the Tornadoes going into the third weight class, 121.
120 pounds for Anoka, defending Bromenschenkel, and for Coon Rapids,
Tyler Ribeiro is one of the Cardinal veterans returning to the lineup.
Coach said he's healthy, he's looking really good. And, he's really impressive in the wrestling room. He hopes that translates over to the mat.
His opponent, Finnegan Bromenschenkel, And that is a powerful takedown from Tyler Ribeiro early.
Another nice job keeping him from getting away, getting out of that move, but now is going to get that 1 point.
You get 3 points for a takedown as opposed to 2 last year. Still just 1 point for an escape.
Yep.
But I suppose you're not going to give him 1.5.
Well, yeah, I don't know if they can do that. 1.5.
I don't think so. Let's not make it more complicated than it is. Bromenschenkel has control of the head, trying to get his hips around. Ribeiro in danger of giving up the takedown, and there it is.
He's going to take the 4-3 lead. Less than a minute to go in this first period. He's trying to get him trying to turn him.
And he's able to do so. Ribeiro in a little bit of trouble, trying to roll through it. And Bromenschenkel did a great job of getting chest to chest. And now Ribeiro is not going to make it out of this first period. A pin in a minute 32.
Yeah, quick pin for Anoka. The lead, put the lead at 17-0 as we move to 127.
At 127 pounds for Anoka, Owen, Rhode, and for Nixon, Glenn.
So at 127, we have Owen Rhode for Anoka against a second-generation CTN star,
which is great
for Coon Rapids. Dixon Glenn.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the son of Noah and Muffy Glenn. And
who we saw when he was in high school, and when she was the wrestling manager when she was in high school.
We're old. You know, again, Nixon's obviously has a great opportunity learning from his dad in terms of wrestling skills.
Rhode able to get in, get the ankle pick, and get the takedown early to take the lead for Anoka.
Coach said Nixon's been putting the time in the offseason, honing his skills, and he definitely knows what he's doing once he gets out on the mat.
Just an 8th grader, but yeah, as we talked about, you know, his parents very passionate about the sport, both of them, so he's grown up around it. Obviously, Noah is still involved. He's still coaching. He also works with a scoring system that I don't know if he developed it or
I think he
markets
did.
it, but
Pin TV.
Yep.
So, but yeah, you can see him.
But they're very involved.
Oh yes.
So Nixon has been
around wrestling his whole life,
immersed in it. So, but here as an 8th grader getting his first varsity start, facing a sophomore, trying to battle through an early deficit, tried to throw the headlock on Rhode, but Rhode able to drive through it. Down to the final 15 seconds of this first period.
And Glenn just can't get away. Rhode's doing a good job of just keeping him under control. Now trying to get the turn.
Well, use the arm bar, get him turned over just before the buzzer, and he will get 3 near fall points, so he will take an 8-0 lead into the second period. And you've got to be impressed by Anoka's wrestlers. All of them, when they have been in the control position, have been very active on top and looking for different ways to turn the Cardinal wrestler over, switching their bodies from one side to the other, keeping their hips low, keeping their weight on top of their opponent. All of those things that just make it so much more difficult to get turned over.
Well, you know, and it's all about leverage and how you use it.
Rhode an early single leg takedown to start the second period.
So that puts the lead to 11-0. Again, using that leverage to get him turned.
Glenn doing everything he can to bridge his way out. Able to kick back to his base. Rhode maintaining control of that arm underneath. Midway through period number 2.
Looking in. He had that right arm, but trying to turn him now, he's switched. Seconds remaining.
Trying to get him flipped and also trying to get Rhode trying to get the leg in to get him in the splits.
Well, he had that opportunity at the end of that first period. Just
doing a great job of getting that knee into Glenn's back. Glenn, a lot of neck strength to bridge his way out of that one. Still 3 more points for Owen Rhode and a 14-0 lead.
My neck is hurting because of it.
The exact same lead that Bragg had at 114 going into period number 3. She got a very quick takedown and finished with a tech fall.
Glenn will start out on the bottom.
Rhode going to work, looking for the armbar on that left side. Glenn able to pull free.
You know, it's interesting in a short 2-minute period how hard these guys work. And all that work they put in the weight room, in the workout room, and all comes down to this. Turned again.
Well, they say there's 1,440 hours in a day, or 1,440 minutes in a day, but only 6 matter.
Absolutely.
Maybe 7 if you go to overtime. But there's going to be the back points, and that's another 17-0 tech fall for Anoka. So through 4 matches, they have 2 pins, 2 tech falls.
At 133 pounds for Anoka, Al-Hammad, and for Coon Rapids,
Elijah Hibler obviously getting the opportunity here. You played basketball last year and decided to be a wrestler this year.
Goes chest to chest and trying to finish the takedown, and he will. And he is going to put Al-Hammad to his back right away. Get 4 near fall points, so Hibler a quick 7-0 lead.
Well, coach says he'll defend well. He says he knows how to turn opponents, as witness there. And he just realized wrestling was his sport over basketball.
Gets in quick again on a double leg.
Hibler really aggressive.
When Al-Hammad has those longer arms and legs, but it's only to your advantage if you can keep your opponent at bay. And Hibler, just with the speed, is getting inside. He gets another takedown, and he's got Al-Hammad in some trouble again, right on the edge of the mat.
He's right there, and you can see the determination, the look on his face.
Trying to get his legs in to keep Al-Hammad from getting twisted over. Squeezing that headlock, but loses him out of bounds. Another 4 points. 14-1 lead.
And he'll continue as he gets some last-minute instructions or from Coach Stronson. He'll continue to be aggressive here with a 14-1 lead.
Still 37 seconds left in this period. If he's able to get Al-Hammad turned over, get a couple more near fall points, he could end up getting a TF right here in period number 1. And boy, could Coon Rapids use it.
They certainly could. The trailing 22-0. Using that leg for leverage too to try and turn him.
Al-Hammad able to get slipped out, and he will get the reversal.
Got 2 points, makes the 14-3.
And that'll take us to the end of period number 1, but a solid start for Elijah Hibler. He's got a 14-3 lead at 1:33.
Gonna let him up.
Red chooses neutral, 1.3.
So a 10-point lead and a solid single leg grab, just not able to get the trip. Goes to the headlock and throws Al-Hammad right to his back, keeping that foot in the circle, keeping it in play. Al-Hammad forcing his way back, so
cuts that lead to 14-7.
yeah, it looked like it would be a takedown at least, if not some back points for Hibler. Instead, not able to get enough control with that headlock, and obviously Al-Hammad able to slip his head out, get into a control position, and get the 3 points for the takedown. Hibler able to get to his feet and gets the escape before getting out of bounds.
That'll make it 15-7. Look how quick.
And he got that single leg. He got him up. He took him down. And Al-Hammad in a little bit of trouble as Hibler trying to get chest to chest. And Al-Hammad rolls through. And he's got the 2-point reversal. And even the scoreboard is confused.
Yeah.
I think we're at 20 to that. Well, I don't even know. Let's face it. They got the scores.
Yeah, it's not correct.
And
we have 19-9 on our.
That's probably closer than the 10-9 up there. Might be 20-9. Because I don't think you can get a 2 in that. I bet you that's what the score is. Hibler got to his feet, unable to break the grip. A warning for Al-Hammad for clenching, and it's going to be a penalty point. And this is another match that has had a lot of action.
It really has.
So 21-9 after the penalty point.
Hibler getting that right back, trying to get the back of the right leg.
So a solid lead for Elijah Hibler, but after the start he had in the first, it looked like he might just run away with this. But good second period for Al-Hammad to keep it close. All comes down to the final 2 minutes.
It is red choice. Red chooses neutral.
Hibler's been getting into the legs. He gets another takedown to start this third period. He's done a great job of getting inside on Al-Hammad and getting to the legs. The only takedown for Al-Hammad in this match was the headlock that he got out of.
Yep.
And that's going to be the 15-point lead in the tech fall at 4:15.
Well, as you talked about, Cardinals really need the points here, obviously, with coming into this month, trailing 22-0. So I'll make it 22-5. This is, we're going to see the Cardinals lone ranked wrestler.
No,
we're not. No.
Little gamesmanship.
Going to move up.
They're going to put Camden Thomas on at 139.
Oh, it's a forfeit at 139.
Well, you definitely don't want to give up the forfeit.
No.
To Jack Bridenstine, as you mentioned. So the interesting thing is these two, Gunnar Cameron and Jack Bridenstine, were both listed on the start sheet as being at 139. Coach Springer clearly had to present first at 139, and he left it open. So Coach Tronson's not going to put his ranked guy out, as you mentioned, the lone ranked wrestler.
For a
He's not going to put him out there for a forfeit.
Nope.
And now you still get this matchup, and now instead of a potential to gain 6 points for Coon Rapids through this matchup, they have the potential to essentially get 12 points from this matchup.
Which would be huge.
And Bridenstine, a junior captain, a two-time state entrant.
Yes. And Coach Stronson said he is continuing to get better.
Well, you know, when I spoke to him at previews, and this is his second year being a captain as a junior, and again, you know, state entrants each of the last 2 years. He's a pretty driven young man, and he talked a lot about how he wants to be in that all-state talk. He's got Cameron in tons of trouble. That cradle is locked up tight, and there's a lot of time on the clock. Cameron able to kick his way out, though.
Yeah, he could not get him pinned, though. 7-0 in favor.
Oh, now he's working on getting Cameron turned over the other way, and Cameron able to get back to his base. But again, just doing a nice job of controlling the lower body. Being able to battle at both ends gives you a distinct advantage over the less seasoned wrestlers.
He's trying to figure a way to see if he can get the pin here before the period's over.
Looks like he's trying to throw the cradle in there again. He is. And he got him put right back to his back again. Cameron trying to kick out, but he will not make it a pin at 159.
So great job, Coach Johnson, putting in the wrestler that for the forfeit and letting Jack go weight up. And he gets the pin, and now it's a 22-17 lead for the Tornadoes.
So Hargrave's going to come in here. He's one of the Cardinals' captains. He's missed a considerable amount of time in the high school seasons due to injuries. He's had a couple of surgeries during his career, but feeling pretty good and healthy and excited to hopefully be able to battle through an entire season. Wyatt Rothrum is the Tornado on the mat. And now after 22 straight points for Anoka, Coon Rapids answers with 17, and we've got a battle going.
We definitely do. You know, Gilbert, as you talked about, has dealt with some injuries, but there's a 3-year varsity participant, section placed as a sophomore. And Coach Tron said he's really a strong young man.
Yeah, speaking of him, I've known Tristan since, I don't know, he was 5 or 6
Yep.
as his older brother. And my son have been friends since childhood, but you know, I talked to him when we did the captain's interviews again, and you know, I said, did you get into play at all during the football season? Because he played football as well coming up, and he said, you know, very little, but I didn't want to risk injury for wrestling. He said, this is my senior year, and this is the sport that I, you know, have a little bit more passion for. So,
well, he was 10-10 before he got hurt last year.
Rothrum with the takedown, able to start in that superior position. Hargrave gets to his feet. Rothrum able to break him back down.
But didn't allow him to get the position to get him on his back.
Down to the final 5 seconds of this first period. That lone takedown for Rothrum, the only points.
Yep.
And that's his the least busy first period we've seen so far.
Anoka deferred to the Cardinals, and they're going to choose the down position here to start the second.
Seen a lot of aggressive wrestling from both teams, both at every weight class. I don't think we've really seen any that have been tentative. And even this one, only the one takedown in that first period, but still a lot of action and effort.
Well, you know, every weight class up until now, it's been a lot of points scored early.
Hargrave able to get to his feet, get the escape. Every match to this point has also ended in bonus points.
Yes.
We've seen 3 pins, 3 tech falls, and a forfeit. Hargrave went to throw the headlock on, but Rothrum able to resist, stay strong, and Hargrave able to roll his way out of the mat. So they'll return to center in the neutral position. Hargrave back to his feet, tried to throw his shoulders, but Rothrum's done a nice job of countering every effort that Hargrave has made. He's had the answer and really not given any leverage at all to the Cardinal wrestler.
No, he hasn't. I mean, again, not scoring a lot of points, but holding a 3-1 lead at this point. But you are correct. We're doing a good job of not letting Kristen get away.
Late shot from Rothrum. Hargrave spread out and went for a shot of his own, and that's going to take us to the end. So a single takedown in the first period for Rothrum, a single escape for Hargrave in the second, a 3-1 lead for the Anoka wrestler, and he will start on the bottom in the third period. Rothrum, quick sit out, got to his feet, trying to break the grasp of Hargrave. Hargrave tried to trip him up, will change strategies. Warned for stalling, and now an escape for Wyatt Rothrum.
Yeah, so that'll increase his lead by a point, 4-1.
90 seconds remain, a 3-point lead for Rothrum.
Kind of just feeling each other out here a little bit. Somebody's just trying to get that little bit of extra opportunity with the going into the last minute.
Hargrave again going for the single leg. And then Rothrum, a great counter. He spread out and then able to drive through and turn it into points. Hargrave in some trouble right in the middle of the mat.
He's doing a good job of not making sure he doesn't get pinned here. There it is. Just got him turned enough to get the pin with 26.5 seconds remaining.
With the victory by fall in a time of 5 minutes, 34 seconds, Wyatt Rothrum.
There you can see him just put that weight on it there to just get his shoulder down on the mat. There you see it right there.
At 160 pounds for Anoka, Austin West, and for Coon Rapids, Mason Ross.
So Anoka, another one of their captains, brought from one of their captains. Austin West, another captain, on at 160 pounds. He'll take on Mason Ross for Coon Rapids.
Yeah, Austin West comes in at number 5 in the 160 category, and he's a good wrestler.
A lot of speed, get around behind. And then, I don't know, wasn't much of a allowing him to get up. A clever takedown.
Yeah.
So, see, and now now if you're really good at the takedowns and you want to do this, it used to be trading 2-for-1s. Now you're trading 3-for-1s, and Ross is going to be warned. Oh, he's
no, you give him a
penalty point.
Yeah, West, another one of those wrestlers with a long reach.
Ross gets in, gets good control of that ankle, but West stays over the top.
Yep, the reversal.
Well, takedown.
Takedown, I mean. Yep.
Ross still has the foot underneath, but West able to work that free. A 10-2 lead late in this first period.
He just lifted him up off the mat.
Trying to get him turned over. Ross trying to stay rigid, keeping his back well off the mat. 10 seconds to go in the first period.
Just trying to fight this one off to get to the second.
Means red choice. Red defers. Green chooses down.
Ross defers. West will start on the bottom.
Get him, Mason.
10-2 lead for Austin West, as you mentioned, ranked 5 in the state early on.
Good wrestler. All right, he's going to get another warning. Another point he's going to lose. You can see here, he just aggressive move to the face.
And they're discussing what is a punch and what is a crossface. How do you make sure you don't cross the line?
Exactly.
Lead now 11-2 for Austin West. Ross keeping control of that left leg.
West hopping, trying to get, I think he's trying to draw him out if he can. There he goes. A little close to the spectators there.
Well, they disqualified him for that. Well, he had 2 penalty points for punch attempts, what have you, and then driving him out after holding him up that long. I mean, I don't know. I'm not far from being a wrestling expert, but clearly the official had a conversation with Ross previous to that and just decided that was enough.
Yep, he wasn't listening.
Bachi Ebralidze was a freshman state tournament entrant last season.
Yes.
He did come in and join the varsity as well for a section. I think he finished 5th in his weight class last year at the varsity section. But he's a young man that Coach Johnson is excited to have for the next couple of seasons.
Yeah, he mentioned that today to me as well. Just opportunity to see what he can do.
Oliver Ollman is the wrestler for Anoka. He got the early takedown, has the 3-0 lead. This being our 10th match, we have yet to see one go the distance.
Nope.
Closest was
you're gonna jinx it here.
Rhode's tech fall with just seconds left in the 3rd period. Oh no, that was.
No, I'm wondering if the one of the purposes was to change the points, increase them, is to make the matches go a little faster. I don't know. A quicker outcome. I don't know.
I suppose the pin for Rothrum at 152 actually was the longest to this point at 5:34. And again, you know, most, except for that 152 battle between Rothrum and Hargrave, most have had a lot of scoring in the opening period. Just the one score for the takedown so far here. Ebralidze nearly got himself
he's in trouble here.
He is in trouble and going to give up some near points and make it a pin here in the first period.
Yeah, with less than 9 seconds remaining.
Victory by fall in a time of 1 minute and 52 seconds. Oliver Ollman. At 189 pounds for Anoka, Gunderson.
You know, Oliver Ollman, he was actually number 10 at 172.
But Bachi Ebralidze, great name.
Yep.
Looking forward to seeing that a lot.
Absolutely.
But this one as well, Don Shamir.
Yep.
Fischer.
Yep.
No offense, Fischer not that exciting. Don Shamir, though, nicely done.
Yes,
nicely
I like
done.
it. Oh, he went by DJ for a long time and wanted to change it to Don. Wanted to be called Don Shamir.
He realized the genius of his parents.
that how cool it was. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want a boring name like Joe. Well, the pressure falls on Don Shamir and a couple of guys behind him to try and make this one respectable. Tornadoes have already clinched the outcome.
Yep.
But a nice takedown on the edge over there for Fischer. Gets the scoring started. Gunderson spits out his mouth guard. It seems to me, now if you see an official stop the match because your mouth guard came out, you're in real trouble. Won't you just spit that out?
Yeah.
I'm doing it every time I'm in trouble.
I would be too.
But I am impressed with, and I don't know if it's every wrestler that actually uses mouth guard, but those who do clearly keep them in. Every other sport, hockey, lacrosse, football, where they have mouth guards, do they really wear them?
A lot of them hang from the helmet in football.
Or they're just chewing on them in hockey. Don Shamir almost had him turned. Gunderson able to roll back to his base, maintain just a 3-point deficit, and give Don Shamir Fischer some credit. He's been working up top. He's been looking for different ways to get Gunderson turned over.
Yeah, he's been aggressive. Just 3 points scored so far here in period number 1, but he's been aggressive as well.
Well, we talked about it on some of those early weight classes, the impressive way that Anoka wrestlers were staying active, looking for different ways to turn their opponent, keeping their weight on their opponent. All of those same things Fischer doing here in the first period after getting that takedown pretty early.
Green chooses down.
Fischer will start on top here of the second period.
Again, continue to be aggressive, trying to make sure he doesn't get away and turn him quickly.
Well, Gunderson able to get to a seated position pretty quickly, but again, staying active behind him.
Well, Fischer's not letting him get up. He's making sure that doesn't happen, and again, in turn, trying to turn him as well.
Coach Johnson says just let him up.
Which he did.
Midway through the second period. Tried a number of different ways, again, at the end of that first period and all through the first half of the second period to get him turned. And a pretty good shot attempt at the headlock for Gunderson, but Fischer able to slip out of it and grab himself another takedown. Escape for Gunderson. Gunderson trying to get underneath, got that leg. And he's going to get another takedown late in the second period here.
Yeah, he'll increase his lead to 9-2. And he's been the aggressor from the start.
A good strong crossface that time. You can see he got behind that left bicep.
Yep.
And just really controlling it, keeping the head cocked. It can be very tiring. And they return to the middle of the mat for the start of period number 3. And early in the season, it really shows who's put the work in, who's kept their endurance up, and are really ready to go, because every sport demands a certain level of output, but I don't know that any requires 100% from you as much as wrestling does.
Yeah, because if
you are to be successful.
Well, yeah, because those 2-minute periods, you may think 2 minutes are short, but it's a lot of energy expended in those 2 minutes.
Takedown for Gunderson to start period number 3, and it's his first chance with the superior position to try and put Fischer on his back. And then goes right for a headlock and put Fischer right to his back. Kind of let him go, but not too far. And that's a nice headlock.
It is.
To put him right on his back. And this is going to put, even if Fischer gets out, it'll put Gunderson into the lead here in the final minute of the third period.
Oh,
he's going to get at least a couple of near fall points.
He's trying to use
4.
He's trying to use his weight to just stay on top of him, but Fischer did a nice job of not being pinned. But you're right, though. It's 12-10 now in favor.
So Fischer needs a reversal or an escape and a takedown in the last 30 seconds. Who's got enough gas to get the final points of the night?
.15 seconds remaining.
A huge third period for Isaiah Gunderson. He outscores Don Shamir Fischer 10-1. Comes from behind for the 12-10 win. And there is our first decision of the night.
Yep. To go all the way to 189.
Just a string of great names for Coon Rapids Wrestling. Up next at 2:15, Giovanni Penaloza.
Yeah, he was not really in the mix last season, but he was able to practice with the squad. And Coach Johnson says that young man knows how to wrestle.
And if not, he's at least got a great name. Giovanni Penaloza.
I like it.
I hear he goes by Joe, though.
Well, who wouldn't? If you could, who wouldn't?
Ooh, and just a bull rush by Berglund puts Penaloza right to his back. He's in some trouble on the edge of the mat. Trying to bridge out as best he can, but a pin
Quick one.
in just 38 seconds.
Yeah, quick pin.
And here's a guy that the Cardinals look to have a big year. Hayden Skillings has been their heavyweight now into his 4th year. And there you see just a bull rush by Berglund. Puts Penaloza right to his back and stays on top for the pin.
Yep. Well, and this should be a good one between Skillings and Michael Chamberlain, who's rated 10 at the heavyweight position, the 285 position. So, Coach said the reason maybe Skillings wasn't in there is because he didn't get to state.
Yeah, I talked to him about that. He sees that as a great motivator.
Yep.
He felt he really should have been there.
Yep.
Definitely last year, if not as a sophomore as well. Like I said, he's a now 4-year starter at the heavyweight position, 2-year captain, and
And
he
strong young man.
He's pretty set on getting to state here in his last chance.
This is the kind of one that could go the distance.
I was just about to say at the start of the 2:15 match, it was the first time we really saw two guys kind of feeling each other out, because they did that first they came together and they kind of pushed off and kind of measured each other up, and then Berglund just bum rushed him. These two kind of feeling each other out for a while, and now a takedown for Hayden Skillings. But Chamberlain was kind of the same bull rush. Almost put him right to his back, but Chamberlain able to roll out of it pretty quickly. Skillings going to the crossface, trying to gain control of that left arm underneath. 40 seconds remain in the first period.
And just using that pressure to keep him down on his stomach. Like to be able to turn him, quite obviously, but not letting him get away, not letting him get up.
Well, and the heavyweights take a little bit longer to move from one side to the other, but you see Skillings going, working on the left arm, then moving his hips, getting over and trying to work on the right arm. I tried a couple of different quarter Nelsons in there and other things. You saw a warning for Chamberlain underneath for stalling.
So Skillings and the Cardinals will have a 3-0 lead going into the second.
Well, and Skillings, when I showed up to talk to the guys, was wrestling with Gavin Layton.
Yeah.
That is a quick reversal for Chamberlain off the whistle to start period number 2.
Well, again, you can see why he's rated where he is with that quick one.
So, Gavin Layton, the state champion 2021.
1 point escape, right?
And
he was a heck of a wrestler.
He still is. He went and did some wrestling at the college level, and now it looks like he's going to continue to play football at the college level, but going better than 300. He is a big, and he's 6'6" ish.
Did you challenge him to a match?
No.
No, come on.
I would not get between those two if you paid me. Well, it depends how much you paid me, but those two, that's two big guys that were exerting a lot of effort, and if you're Hayden Skillings, to have a former state champion who's still in really good shape. And, I mean, when I say he's over 300, but you look at him and he's just a big, solid kid.
Yes.
I remember when he was in high school thinking, this is a kid that's just naturally that big.
Oh, yeah. There are those kids that are just built big.
And I think, and I'm not sure that he was as big into the weight room as maybe he could have been. He could have been even larger, but he was just naturally just a very large individual. And now he's put on some muscle, and a couple of years out of high school, you tend to grow a little bit.
He's a full-grown man.
Yeah, he's a big kid, really nice kid too, and wish him the best. But what a great wrestling partner and a great resource for the team to get an alumni to come in like that and work with their big guy and really challenge him in the
That's
in the
what you
weight room.
need, because there's nobody else that's going to challenge him quite like that. At least that in the practice room.
So it's 4-2 in favor of Skillings as they go to period number 3. Tronson advises his big man to start on the bottom. And unfortunately, the Golden Shoes are going back.
They're going to stay
to
with
Anoka.
Yep.
But Skillings would like to start his season with a win here. Has the lead. Chamberlain being aggressive up top. Skillings gets to his feet. And will get the escape.
That's a big point. Holding a slim lead, but a lead nonetheless.
Power on power here to finish the night. Anoka will start their season with a 1-0 record. And for Coon Rapids, it's a tough task to start with the top team.
Yeah, number 8
in your
team.
conference.
But
in this section, you're going to have to face them one time or another, and there's a takedown for Skillings to increase his lead.
Well, and you look at it, and Anoka's the only team from this section in the top 10, and I think Elk River is the only other team from this section that is in the lean and mean. And usually you see 4 or 5.
Yeah, Forest Lake usually up there. Of course, St. Michael, when they were in Section 7, they were. I'm assuming they're in there. They're just no longer a section rival.
St. Michael's number 1 section, and they're in Section 5.
Good riddance.
Yes, we don't need him in this section.
Well, when they bumped up and they moved to Section 7, it was like, of all the sections, this section at that time
was so strong.
You had Anoka, Coon Rapids, Forest Lake,
Elk
and
River.
Cambridge-Isani that were almost
Cambridge,
always
right.
in those top
Yep.
4, in those top 12.
Yep.
All 4 of those teams were almost there, and then you had St. Michael Albertville.
That's
and
a lot of power.
It was like and Bob Adams used to call it a mini state tournament just to get to the state tournament. So they could use a couple of other teams to move out.
They could.
But for Hayden Skillings, just looking to start his season with a win. He, like we talked about, he's got his sights set on a state tournament appearance. You see him looking over to Principal Pena, who is familiar with that battle as a former heavyweight high school wrestler himself.
He was a heck of a wrestler.
And you want to talk about dropping weight. That man is really
He's my hero.
Made some fantastic life changes over the last year and dropped a ton of weight. He said, we were talking about it, he said, I'm working. It's working. It ain't happening easy.
Well, no, I mean, but it's amazing transformation what he's done, and it's good for him because it's so good for his health.
Well, and he's been such a great fit for the high school as well. His energy is so positive and
he's so loved.
Fantastic. Final few seconds are going to tick off. Chamberlain goes for a shot. He would need to get Skillings right to his back to have a chance. He does get a takedown to at least cut into the lead, but an 8-6 decision for Skillings.
And that's a big win for Hayden. That's, you come in, you face the number 10 guy in your weight class, and you go and you take him and you get the win. That was a nice one. It was, Cardinals will take some things from tonight. Obviously, they knew it was a tough start.
Yeah, and again, we did talk about that, and a lot of teams will pack their schedule with top opponents early on, and
see what you have.
It really tests you, and it also shows those maybe younger athletes what it takes to be among the elite.
Absolutely. Now there go the golden shoes. Back to the Anoka side. That will keep it, retain it for another year.
Well, in a fantastic way for Coon Rapids to get its wrestling season started. A packed house, alumni night.
Packed is right. It's always packed.
A conference section rival, and they would have loved to have been the ones over there holding up a single finger and securing the golden shoes for the home team, but was not to be.
No, it was not. But we saw some fun matches. We saw some really aggressive matches, especially early on.
In the end of a big week for us here at the Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse. Girls basketball on Tuesday, boys basketball on Thursday, and now wrestling on Friday.
We're everywhere.
And next week, it's all about hockey.
It is.
Girls hockey on Tuesday, boys hockey on Thursday, and then a doubleheader on Saturday. We get to see the boys basketball team again against Bloomington Jefferson on Tuesday the 17th. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score, Anoka 49, Coon Rapids 20. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For our director, Joel Sipper, and my partner, Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young. Say good night.